Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 1041, directed by Tasuku Shimaya from his and Yutaka Nakashima's board and supervised by Masayuki Takagi. While the last episode from this team-up of staff wasn't anything to write home about, there does seem to be a little bit more gravitas in how this episode is executed compared to that one judging by the preview, and is in a much better place than their last efforts given that it's not sandwiched in between some of the most animated and insane episodes of this arc and series as a whole. So will episode 1041 be much better for the staff at hand, or will it simply be part of a trend for them? Let's get a view of the beast and find out. This episode almost covers the entirety of chapter 1019 minus the second half of Frankie's fight with Sasaki that's being saved for next week. And despite a really unfortunate instance of flashbacks again though, this time it's not too egregious since it's only one, the adaptation choices that this episode makes feel solid and makes sense for the type of content that it is. Rearranging stuff like Yamato's hybrid form revealed to way before the end of the episode as they graciously actually showed us their transformation unlike the manga, and Luffy being revived fully by Law's crew to the very end of it all instead of being weirdly placed in between the two main fights going on. It's not an insane amount of work on this front obviously, but what they did was appreciated for content that just felt jumbled up and everywhere like most of this section of the manga did. And I'm glad that the music choices were solid once again and actually heightened the comedic moments the most, which are a plus for the storyboard as well. While neither of the two are known for making the most complex boards known to man, the boards from Nakashima and Shimaya here at the very least both feel like they're from the same episode, as in both halves there's just a very fun way of portraying comedy in ways that are just classic One Piece and visually interesting. And while the action may not be the strongest as expected, there are still a few neat little chunks of it here and there that both the more conservative animation staff on board couldn't quite keep up with, or could keep up with, like the little bits of Sanji vs. Queen that look far better than I expected from such a little filler scene at that, and Yamato's transformation scene that was heavily corrected on top of it by Chief Supervisor Chu Young-sa. It's not miles above their 1032 boards, but it's much more enjoyable than it all the same, and Masayuki Takagi's corrections wrap it all up with some really angular and wild corrections to make 1041 a pretty decent episode. It's about what you'd expect from this team, if not better than usual, but I still had a decently fun time for what it was overall. Next week will be rather interesting though, as we are presented with another episode from mentor of Tatsuya Nagamine, Shigeyasu Yamauchi, and while it looks like it'll be dealing with all sorts of content from Frankie to Yamato to surprisingly brief filler with Robin that leads into her fight after, and seemingly includes a reanimated segment of one of my favorite flashbacks in the series, he'll definitely put his years and years of directorial experience to good use once again, and hopefully the staff at Masket can put on a good showing too. Anyways guys, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and baby old man Chopper still clears.